been asked this because they know, they know that Shorty is going to pick a real one. That's me. Welcome back to your favorite podcast, Chats with Cal. As usual, the robes are robing. The vibes, vibing. The voice, spine tingling. And the fireplace, crackling. But like every time, we get straight into it. For those of you who haven't started this yet, first of all, I'm shocked. Second of all, you need to start the Quiet on Set documentary. Now, give you a little bit of color. This is the documentary about the dark side of the Nickelodeon empire that if you're a 90s baby, maybe early 2000s, but definitely 90s babies, we grew up on Nickelodeon and Disney. Me, just Disney and Cartoon Network. But this was a huge part of growing up, things like iCarly, Drake and Josh, Wizards of Waverly Place. No, that's Disney. No, that's Disney. What else was there? The one with Britney Spears' sister. What's her name? Was that Disney or Nickelodeon? No, that was Nickelodeon, right? The Amanda Show. Anyway, most of my childhood, our childhoods, were impacted during this time. And this documentary of the scandalousness, the treachery that was going down during this time, led predominantly by Dan Schneider, is ridiculous. Now, before I get into it, he did put out his own little response, not a little response, but his response to all this. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't actually know what he looked like. And when I saw him sitting across two chains, and I was just like, I just don't know if I can believe this guy. First of all, it looks like Gareth Bobby Ferguson. So if you're telling me someone that looks like Gareth Bobby Ferguson is trying to tell me they weren't aware of what was going on, they didn't mean for what happened to happen, or if it did happen, they wish they could go back and fix it, you're lying to me, because GBF doesn't give an F about no one. So when I saw him looking like that, I said, nah. 2 Chainz, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't have been on this one. Plus, it was on his own channel. So there's no way he really meant what, not that he didn't mean it, but he obviously, the questions weren't hard hitting. They weren't probing. It was his own channel. So he had to play nice and just be like, every time he brought up something, he would diminish it by saying, nah, but in my experience, I saw this and this, and you were good. And you never did that, right? Yeah, of course I didn't. Like, it was disgusting. But anyway, so what is highlighted in the docu-series on Max is, one, his scandalous treatment of his writers. In particular, 2 female writers that basically had to share a salary. One of them got kicked out for trying to figure out, hey, is this the right procedure? Like, should we be sharing a salary right now? Yeah, got kicked out. And the other one got retained, but on the second season, they're like, yeah, actually, this is going to be 24 weeks, but we're only going to pay you for 17. Cool, great. Go get us coffee. But that wasn't all. There were all kinds of crazy things that Dan in particular used to do. He used to make them shout things. Used to make them do all kinds of crazy things. I wasn't going to repeat what they were told to shout because that would be, I'm not going to shout that. It would come out a little zesty and that's not me. But yeah, they would make them do a lot of things. One of the craziest things was obviously the sexualization, not obviously, but the sexualization of the shows. There were so many things that, we probably wish adults would have caught. But looking back now, different lens, hindsight, you're like, there's so many sexual innuendos in those shows, and it's crazy. In particular, what I was today years old, finding out what taint meant, and what I mean, one of the characters that I loved on the Amanda Show, Penelope Taint. She's kind of like, I feel like she's the inspiration for what's his face from The Big Bang Theory, the smart guy, Sheldon. She was Sheldon before Sheldon, right? Same thing. I probably found her more funny, which is weird because if I make that comparison, but in reality, I don't even like The Big Bang Theory. I don't mess with it. That's a conversation for another chat. But yeah, Penelope Taint, pretty much like that. I didn't know what taint meant until I started watching this and found out that it's the region between. Anyway, Google it yourself if you want to find out. You're not canceling me. But anyway, didn't know that was what it was. So I was also disgusted knowing that he intentionally knew that's what it was called, or that's what it was, and still put it in a kid's show. And he lied to the executive saying, it's not that. I meant tainting things. That's what I thought it was. I didn't even pay too much attention because I was a kid. But yeah, stuff like that, putting so many innuendos in there, putting kids through hell on TV. Crazy. But that was a docu-series. I definitely recommend you watch it. More of the story is we need to protect these kids who get into stardom, whether they're, on TV and sports or whatever. There needs to be, if you have a good background around them, good. If you don't, that's why so many of these Nickelodeon stars are just mostly Disney stars just ruined. Because what's his name? Brian Peck was a convicted, sexual assault, and he was still able to get another job with Disney after what happened with him and Drake Bell, which is so sad to see Drake Bell's career went like this. Drake and Josh, he was lit in the Amanda show. Like, you're like, oh, he's gone places. Nope, did not. In other news, yeah, that was kind of heavy way to end it. But in other news, I know you hear the sound and you're thinking, wait, what's happening? Is he the new 007? No, not yet. Right now, still working on Old Spice. Just waiting for them to give me my call up. I've already got the robe, the sound, the look. I've got it all. Just waiting for them to give me a call back. I'm really just doing this until I become an Old Spice, the next Old Spice man. But back onto this, there's reports that they might have decided who's the new 007. They might have decided who's going to replace the GOAT as the new James Bond. Daniel Craig is the GOAT of James Bond. That's not even a debate. If anyone has comments about that, they're like, oh, nah. You can comment down below. Will I agree with you? No. But you just know that it's Daniel Craig, the GOAT, the best James Bond, best 007. Thought Idris would be a perfect transition, like similar age profile. He's English as well, with this time of diversification. I thought that's where we were going. We're not. Apparently, we're not ready for a black James Bond. I don't think we ever will be, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I thought he would be a pretty good shot. Got turned down. Anyway, the person who's been highly linked right now is Aaron Taylor Johnson. For those of you who don't know, he was in Bullet Train. He's married to a woman who's 23 years older than he is, and he was in Kick-Ass. That's about all I know about Aaron Taylor Johnson. Could I have done research? Yes. Can you? Yes. You came here for chats with Cal, not backgrounds with Cal. So relax. Take it easy, because you have a phone right now. Anyway, I don't really know much about him. He was cool in Bullet Train. I just really hope that his James Bond is not going to go in the same path of like a Batman. With what's his face from Twilight. And it's kind of like a dark, edgy kind of thing, like emo type thing. I think that's where it might be going. Plus right now with the way Aaron Taylor Johnson's hair is looking, is giving Nicolas Cage. At first when I looked up his picture, I really thought this was like, is this his son? Like, are they related or what? I don't think they are. Don't think they are, but that's about that. But speaking of speaking of staying around, sticking around like family, like glue, I know you're wondering, how can I do that with Cal? How can I continue chatting with Cal? Never missing a beat, staying on the pulse, thumb, finger, elbow on the pulse. It's easy. Just gotta like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell button if you're really keen and you never want to miss a beat. Well, that's how you do it. Don't know how else to do it, how else you can stick around. That's the only way. And if you're on any other platform, make sure you're subscribing or saving, following the content, and giving me a 5-star review. Question of the week. Now this question, if I was ever asked this, I'd just be thinking, oh no. Because that's a red flag. You're setting yourself up for failure. You know that if you answer this any which way, could be bad. If you say ew, then you'd be like, wow, so you hate my best friend. But if you say, actually, she is kind of hot, you're getting murdered. And I'm sure some people are listening to this and they're thinking, you know what?
If you ask me, am I a bitch? A little bit. Catch my drift? Not all the way.
But I guess I am a little bit. I like being alive. I wouldn't want to test that. But anyway, the question, I didn't even say what the question was. The question of the week. What is the safest answer when your girlfriend asks if her friend is hot? Now I'm telling you, I've never been asked this, because they know that shorty is gonna pick a real one. That's me. But no. So some of the top responses that I took on was this one's a pretty good one. They said, I've never looked at her like that before. And that's when that meme will come up with the little black boy, like, because honestly, that one might work, but it also might not. I feel like it will set you up for failure again, because they'll be like, before, you're looking at her now. Yep. So actually, trashing that one. Forget that. Round 2. Yeah. Why? Are you interested in her? That one's a juicy one. That one might work. That one might work. No, it wouldn't, because you actually agreed and you said that you do think she's hot. So you've been looking, which, let's be real, fellas, we know you have. Or ladies, in this time anyone can have a girlfriend. Yeah, you've been looking, you know what you're working with. And that's the thing. We do know what we're working with here, but we have to lie. You have to lie. You can't say the truth. If you want peace, you cannot say the truth. Even if it's not the truth, or it is the truth that you've just not, you have to stay with that. Till the day you die or the day you separate, you have to stick with that. Always. Hopefully, I'm probably going to regret even talking about this one, to be honest. We're already here. We're chatting with the treacherous Cal. And finally, in an overly enthusiastic tone. Why? Did she ask about me? Honestly, this one can't lose. This one cannot lose. You know why? Because you put the ball back in their court. You say, you just got to react to whatever they say after that. Because if they say no, then be like, of course not. Of course I don't think they're attractive. Or if they say, yeah, I actually did ask about you. Be like, don't know why. I don't see it. But if you're already on the rocks and you're like, this is going to be the knockout blow, I'll be able to finesse myself out of a situation I don't want to be in anymore. Cow, help me. I'm helping you out. Use this line. Opens the door, then you just kick her out. Or him. Because it could go both ways. I don't know any guys dumb enough to ask this question. Or, I mean, I'm secure in myself. I'm the handsome man. But will I ever open a door like this and be like, what do you think of so-and-so? No. Because my feelings will get hurt. Anyway, well, again, we're at the end of the pod. And as usual, we end with some ways that we can improve our understanding, improve our general knowledge. Because one day you're going to end up on a trivia crack. You're going to end up on a little game show, they'll say. Or you're going to have a trivia night, they'll be like, listen, we need some facts about 007. I've got you for today. James Bond the name was actually taken from a bird watching book Ian Fleming had handy when in search of a name. Bird book. Second, the corkscrew car jump that was featured in The Man with the Golden Gun was performed in just one take. Just one. And finally, now you're wondering, why do we only ever see 007? We don't see the lower numbers of 00s because they're dead. They were killed off in other movies. 006 came back and got murked in GoldenEye. So there you go. Had to clean them off. And that's it. That's the episode for today. Thank you so much for sticking around. As usual, we're going to come back weekly. Or if you're listening to me on any podcasting platform, every week you're going to hear from Daddy. But if you've not subscribed and this is your first interaction, go ahead and subscribe and like. If you've already done that and you're like, Daddy, what do we do? I don't want to let you go. Watch the other content. And once you're through that, watch it again. And if you're done that multiple times, multiple cycles before the next video, stop. Because we're done.